The $45 billion aerospace mega merger collapses as BAE and EADS call off their tie-up talks. BAE says the interests of the governments involved and those of the two companies could not be resolved. Britain, France, Germany and the US all had stakes in the scheme. The plan would have created the world's biggest defense group. One sticking point is thought to have been German insistence that the merged group's headquarters would be in Munich. Well, let's get out to David Rees now, Director for Aerospace and Defense at IHS Janes. David, thanks so much for joining us. I guess the question now is what next for BAE and EADS?
Wow, it's really been quite a day. I think what we're likely to see is that BAE and EADS will continue to discuss at a very low level the potential for some kind of a tie-up in the future. But at this point, I'd say unless something changes within the German government's position, that's not likely to happen. It's, to me, quite surprising that it was the German government that scuttled this deal, it appears. Now, once we find out what those reasons were, I think we'll be able to understand what the likelihood of any potential tie-up occurring in the future will be, but at this point it doesn't look extremely likely.
Surely the genie is out of the bottle now and there has to be a tie-up of some sort.
I'll tell you that if I'm BAE right now, I recognize that I've just sent a message to the world that I thought that going forward with EADS would be better than sitting back and going forward with the path that I had previously been taking. And that doesn't necessarily mean that BAE thought their future wasn't very bright, but it does mean that they do see significant risk in their position going forward. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they take a somewhat less conservative approach going forward and we'll look at other options.
Talking about other options, who are you looking out for now to merge?
Sure. Well, I think there's potential for several other options out there, but I really do look across the European defense industrial landscape, and I can't see any other partners or potential partners that wouldn't have some of the same political issues that really scuttled this deal. I know a lot of people have been looking to the U.S. for a potential partner, and large firms like General Dynamics or Northrop Grumman or even Raytheon have been mentioned in some of the reports. But unfortunately, those firms already have significant presence in the United States, thereby
so they come under a lot of scrutiny.
They would come under a lot of scrutiny, and it would really negate the advantage that BAE had with EADS in providing access to the U.S. market. Is
BAE now looking really vulnerable? Is it a target?
I don't think they necessarily look very vulnerable, but they certainly look like they're looking to make some significant moves. And so I'm sure they'll have discussions with other potential partners and look at other ways they could potentially strengthen their business.
Great. Thank you very much. That was David Rees from IHS Janes. We'll have more on this deal that did not take place. We've been waiting for that 1700 deadline. And of course, BAE and EADS have now called off merger talks. That's the latest. I'm Angeline Ong, and this is Reuters.